All right, welcome everyone to the late night restaurant show. Yes, I am Canada's restaurant guy, and Dominic once again is bailing on us. I don't know, he's got a date, he said, or he's doing something. I don't know what he's doing. But anyways, we brought in my backup, which is even, well, I'm not going to get into a fight, who's better and this and that, but Monty, welcome back to the late night restaurant show. Are you there, Monty?
Well, hello. Thank you for having me. Hey, I think that ever since, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you clear.
No, can you? I was saying that ever since you made those nice complimentary statements about Dominic, now he's flaking on you. It's like it's going to his head.
I think it has. You know what? I think it has. But we're going to have a great show tonight. You know what? I'm excited because I know very little about this company that we have on tonight. And I'm excited. All of our shows are always about the positive things about these companies that are out there. And this is one that I think is really cool. Monty, you know them quite well. You're familiar with Restaurant365. We've got a great guest on from Restaurant365, and I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great show tonight. And to everyone that's listening to this, it's not a podcast. Monty, do you know this is not a podcast? Monty? Anyways.
No, it is
Monty's got a new system.
Podcast.
It's not a podcast. You're a little delayed, but that's okay. We'll make it work. But yeah, it's not a podcast, everyone.
It's not a podcast.
Thanks, Monty. Anyways, we also have to remind if
that works better.
Try that. Maybe they give that a boo there, Monty. But to everyone else that is attending the National Restaurant Association show in Chicago from the 18th to the 21st, please join us there. We will be hanging out, doing some podcast, and also chatting with incredible people that are going to be at this event. It's 700,000 square feet. 12 football fields. It's a monster of an event, and it's awesome. And we're in the North Building, Monty. We're in the North Building right beside Starbucks.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
It's going to be exciting. I don't know if they said you. I don't know if they knew me. I think they creeped me out and heard how many times I talk about Starbucks in my shows. But we are right beside Starbucks. How cool is that?
That's a beautiful thing.
Awesome. Anyways, we're going to get started here. We're going to do the intro, then we're going to bring our guest in here. Monty, maybe we're going to get the internet fired up for you. But anyways, we'll be right back after this. Here we go. There we go. Welcome, Julianne. Welcome to our show, Late Night.
Oh, hello. Thank you for having me.
I forgot to tell you a lot of these things like we do live show to recording. I forgot to mention that. Sorry about that.
Hi, Julianne.
Hi, Monty. Long time no see.
She's an old pro.
Monty, you look so different without a... Do you have a glass of rye in your hand?
This is the...
Oh, good old Monty and your internet.
Yeah, baby.
I'm going to buy you a new one.
This is Woodford weeded. What's that? What's that?
Anyways, your internet's driving me crazy. Anyways.
Am I out again?
Yeah, you're out, in and out. Anyways, you figure that out, Monty, and we're going to hang out with Julianne here. Julianne, you're from Restaurant365. Please tell us up here in Canada what Restaurant365 is all about.
Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of the backstory because I like to tell my little spiel. So back in 2011, we had 3 founders who were Great Plains resellers. Do you know what Great Plains is?
Plains? What? No. What is that?
So it was super popular accounting software. And this was like around the time, you had the new iPhone 4 come out. We had that like giant shift in technology. And our founders realized there was no cloud-based restaurant system on the market. So that's exactly how Restaurant365 was born. We're the only restaurant-specific platform that can do it all, inventory, streamline accounting, optimize scheduling, retain employees, all in one platform.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Way.
Yeah. Available everywhere?
Available in the US and Canada.
Good answer. Should I do my homework on that one? So tell me a little bit about, I see that it breaks down recipes and all this. Monty, how you doing there, bud?
Can you hear me now?
All right. Well,
No,
sort of.
Can't hear me?
I can hear you. It's just, can you hear us? All right.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Keep working on that, Monty. Yeah, I can hear you. It'll be 10 minutes of this back and forth.
Well, if you can hear me, then I'm on.
Okay, that's good.
You literally you stare at the screen. You stare at the screen as if you can't hear me, but if you can hear me, we're all good.
I can hear you. Anyways, Julianne, tell us a little bit. So,
all right, Woodford.
Okay, he's still drinking. I'm killing my podcast, Matt. Well, first of all, it's not a podcast. So, there you go. It disappeared. Anyways, Julianne, tell us more about. So, what makes 365 a little bit different than the other systems out there?
So we have the beauty of being, again, an all-in-one platform. And then we have some integration partners that we connect with that's going to bring in all that data automatically and, automate all those manual processes we see a lot of restaurants dealing with. So, your banks, your POS, your vendors, we're going to have EDI integrations with them. Basically just a two-way street of communicating, and everything will live inside Restaurant365. So that way there's just one source of truth.
How important, I know it's important, like I've had thousands of shows and stuff like this around these topics, but how important is it today, as we see this economy changing like daily, to have a system like this in your business?
Call me biased, but I find it extremely important to have a system like this. In your business, of course, if everybody's looking at the same information, it's just so much easier to be proactive as opposed to reactive when you're making decisions. From cutting labor, where you're buying from, how you're buying, how often you're buying. All these things are really important. And if you don't have that one source of truth and everybody's looking at outdated information, or, your operator has one set of information, your accountant has another set of information, the owner is looking at old information, it can get really murky and cloudy and, could be really delayed. So when everything's in one place and all of our integrations are talking to each other seamlessly, you eliminate that.
Now, is it hard for restaurants to bring this system into their restaurant?
Hard. I won't say that it's easy. I mean, with anything.
I like that, though. I like the truth. I like that. Most people would be like, oh, it's so simple.
Very transparent girl, as you'll learn. It's not easy, but I always say it's, 3 months of pain for the next 30 years of feeling good and knowing that your processes are in place. And it's a scalable system, which is also what's so great about it. So you implement it once, you're not going to have to implement it ever again. So
really? Will this be for multiple locations as well? You can open up with, is that what you mean by scaling?
Absolutely. So I work with the 1 to 10 units, but I mean, we work with, the Burger Kings and Taco Bells of the world too. So definitely scalable.
Now, what do you find most restaurateurs that are bringing a system like this in? What's one of the things that they're kind of nervous about before making the leap?
Everything. Everything. And I get it, especially because I work with the smaller businesses. It's a lot of people's passion projects, and a lot of people have put their whole life savings in it and their whole family's working in it. So I'm really empathetic to that. But I feel as though, like I said, that giant shift in technology happened, and it's weird to see restaurants kind of being on the back end of implementing tech. So, I mean, everything, implementation, switching everything over, trusting a software. So there's a lot of hesitation with the people I talk to.
And that does that go away? Like as soon as they start working with it, they're like, "Hey, I need this all the time." You probably hear that all the time.
I do, and I love it. Yeah. So once we actually get into the software, they're just like, you could see the stars in their eyes, and I love to see it every time. I always make them turn on their camera because I want to see their face when they see like. Because I have my first discovery call and they tell me this is what we're doing. And then I can go into the demo and show them this is how we're going to do it for you. And they're like, oh my gosh. And it's, you don't know what you don't know. So they're like, I had no idea that this was possible. And I was like, that's why I called you.
Do you find like, so I want to hear a little bit about you. How long have you been in the industry? You seem so passionate about it.
Well, I've been working in the restaurant hospitality industry since I was 14. So I started in a bagel shop. I eventually did go to college. I actually got my bio degree and was a microbiologist for a little
Serious?
bit. Well, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But I was always a server on the side just because, restaurant people, they're not.
Yeah, no, same thing here.
To feel any validation, you have to be in a restaurant. So I did that for a long time. And then when COVID hit, I kind of reimagined my life and found Restaurant365.
That is really cool. That is really cool. So when you look at a system like this, is this like going to break the bank for a lot of restaurants out there when they bring this in? I see your pricing on your website here. Is that what it is? Or is there hidden fees and all these things that we hear?
So we're very straightforward with the pricing. I know it can seem like a lot when you're looking at it, but when you consider everything that you're getting in the platform and everything you're consolidating, I think people really revisit that and they're like, oh, yeah, that's not too bad. If I'm paying $650 for an accountant to give me per location, to give me delayed information, once a quarter, it's not too bad in retrospect. And we usually save between 3 to 5% in COGS on your bottom line. So it ends up paying for itself. And we actually had a customer come to our SKO, our sales kickoff, and say, you guys could be charging a lot more. So
really?
Yeah, which was like crazy to hear and awesome to hear, but for sure.
Now, there's some things in here I want to ask you about this. So when it works on labor matrix, can you tell us a little bit of what that looks like?
Can you?
Well, it says some of the things here that you offer is one is labor matrix. And when you look at the labor matrix, because labor is such a big, like, will it help reduce the labor cost that I have in my operation? That's a better question.
Yes, exactly. So, because I'm like, there's a lot of different ways that you can look at. We have, I think, over 170 reports in the system that you can look at. So it could get overwhelming.
Wow.
But as far as labor, so we're pulling from your POS, and normally a lot of people clock in through their POS, and we have a scheduling app as well. So we're using all that old data from years before, sales data, and putting it into the system. And that way you're able to track your labor, hour by hour for most POS systems. So you're
hour by hour. Wow.
And it's really easy. I call it our big Fisher Price buttons. I mean, green is good, red is bad. You'll know if you're above, if you're below, and you're able to track that in real time. So your operators are able to make more informed decisions.
Do you guys work with the operators when you implement the system like this? Like, you don't just hand them off, see you later?
No, of course. Yeah. So, and every restaurant's different. Sometimes it's like, it just wants to be the owner and the accountant. Sometimes the owner's like, I want nothing to do with this. So it's pretty catered to what every person wants, which is also something fun. It keeps it interesting. But we have a phenomenal implementation team, and they're all, old restaurateurs, operators. So they can have that, I can never pronounce this word, consultative approach. I say it every day.
I struggle too, don't worry.
I can't say it. So yeah, that's also a beautiful thing about our implementation team.
That's really cool. So it's been around not that long. I like the cost too. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you. I think for what you're getting, I'm going to say a body at least, if not more, than one person that you're replacing. There's a lot of different things there. So when we look at this, it doesn't take a few months. It's very fast. Oh, Monty's back. Let's bring Monty in here too.
Monty, you're back.
Monty?
Hallelujah.
Can you hear us, Monty?
I can. Can you hear me?
To go steal the neighbor's Wi-Fi?
No,
We can hear you,
just
Monty.
rebooted. I rebooted.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
It's all the neighbors stealing your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, maybe so.
So
I'm doing
if it's now, you're sorry?
No, I was going to say I'm about to upgrade because this is BS, not being able to get on the show.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm back. Sorry for that.
We go there.
Yeah. At least I had my wood.
Awesome. So, okay, you keep drinking. So, Julianne, so when you look at this, at the bottom line, restaurants will always say this, and I've worked with thousands of restaurants across the country. And does it help us make more money? Does it help restaurants make more money?
Help you make more money? It depends on what we're using it for, right? I mean, for the smaller businesses, I would say it's going to help you save money and spend your money in a more intelligent way.
So it's make more money.
That's make more money. Basically.
That wasn't a trick question.
It gets the manager off of the mundane responsibilities so they can focus on driving higher revenue, creating better experiences, and controlling profit. Hey, look.
Brian.
My narrative.
Very cool. Hello, Brian. So I totally agree, and I think I love this comment. It's not about the cost. It really isn't. It's about what it's going to do, and like you said, saving time. And most restaurateurs, as you know, Monty, are dying to save money and save time, and anything that we can help them save on is going to be a big factor as we move forward, especially with this industry, and especially what's coming ahead. And really, this uncertainty that we all are kind of figuring out what's going to be next. I was writing some webinars we're doing coming up here, and I was trying to look at what they will be called, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of different things that are going to be coming up, and we just don't really hard to forecast what the fall will look like and to really see what operators are going to need. Monty, you're familiar with 365, and you've heard a lot of people talk about it. Do you want to throw your 2 cents in there?
Yeah, I mean, I used as an operator when I was the managing partner of Steelbach, and that's where I discovered them. And for me, primarily, we used it for accounting purposes. What I love about it is you can scan invoices, and they get entered into Restaurant365. It's a very interactive and user-friendly software. And so you could basically run a P&L pretty much every day without doing the inventory, because you can take your purchases divided by your sales and pretty much run a P&L from day to day. The only difference is when you do your inventory, then it becomes very succinct and precise, because now you're talking about product on the shelf that you haven't sold yet.
Totally. I just think, I would say, I love this stuff because I can't imagine running a restaurant. Geez, a lot of people that are bringing, but it's going to stop without these support tools.
I think my internet's acting up now.
Oh no.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm there. You're sounding very muffled.
It's not muffled too. What's going on, people? How's that, Monty?
Yeah, that's good. Cool.
Wow. I don't know. We'll have to put this one in the internet fan club.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah,
I had the wrong mic setting too, by the way.
So being able to scan documents, invoices.
When you mean scan, tell me about that, Monty.
You can
Julianne,
literally
tell me scanning. Take a picture.
So we have like hundreds of vendors that we integrate with. So, the big vendors, Cisco, US Foods, all those, we're going to have an EDI integration. So you won't even need to scan anything. It's just going to be in your system, line item by line item detail before the food even hits the back of the restaurant. And And then for the smaller ones that we don't have the EDI integration, you could just take a picture with your phone, and then we use AI, and again, line item by line item detail right into the system.
That was going to be another question. Yeah, that was going to be another question around the AI integration, and you guys have AI integration, which is really cool and a must. I'm going to say it's a must. It's a must. Very cool.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Monty.
So yeah, the main broadliner in several.
This guy.
I was going to say the main broadliners are automatic, and then when you do the inventory, all of that gets compiled into a P&L and actually produces your P&L for you.
Mm-hmm. Now, how important? Now, I've told restaurants daily, like all the time, looking at the P&L every day is important. Julianne, do you see people like shifting from like a weekly or a monthly? Please tell me there's no one doing longer than that. That they're actually moving to a daily or a weekly and seeing a big benefit from that?
Yes. And there are so many people doing longer than that.
Serious? No.
I spoke to someone the other day that's been open for a year, and she's like, I've never seen P&L. And
Serious?
She's wildly successful. I'm like, oh my gosh, if you just had all this information, I can only imagine how much more successful you would be.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like never. No.
She's never seen P&L.
Well, you know what? It's funny because I've worked with thousands of restaurants, and I can probably count maybe on two hands now because I've been around a long time, how many people actually do a proper P&L or inventory and all those different systems out there. Like, do you see it getting better? Like people are moving that way, or is it still a surprise every day?
It's hard. It is hard. And if you don't have Restaurant365, I mean, think of all the different things you have to do to get an accurate P&L every day. Like, you have to pull your sales information in. You have to have your accountant, on call and sending everything in. Everything needs to be line item detail. Like I said, you have to know food prices off the top of your head. So if you have all these disjointed systems, it's hard. How could you have it every day? But that's the beauty. You have it all in one place, then that's what you can look at it.
I love it. Now, obviously, I see you're connected with the people I know, which is awesome. And I just love the fact that you're in Canada. We need you up here. And you're integrated with a lot of these other systems up here too that also kind of... Now, do you guys touch anything in the marketing side? Like, do you go into anything in the marketing side of the business, or is it more or less just the operational?
Marketing, how so? Like for hiring or marketing?
Marketing their business, more or less.
No, I mean for like hiring and everything, we do that. But as far as marketing,
what do you mean by hiring? Tell me more about that. That sounds cool.
So we have a whole payroll and hire platform that could shoot them out to all the job postings.
Shut up! Seriously?
Oh yeah, it's all in one. That's the beauty of it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Okay. They can do scheduling, they can do HR onboarding type stuff, and they can do accounting, payroll.
Yep.
Now, is there anything that is coming forward? I know you probably can't tell me, but is there anything cool that you can share with us that 365 is rolling out? Because, like, do you clean like the dishes in the back? Like, do you flip burgers? Like, you guys do everything.
Not anymore.
No,
my back cannot handle that anymore. But yeah, I probably would get in trouble if I say too much. But I will say we did have about 350 software updates last year. And if you're a customer, if you're a customer, you just get that with what you've been paying for. And we did also just acquire Expandshare as well. So that's super exciting.
Okay, what's that? Tell us that.
It's a training platform.
What?
For restaurants. Yes. So you could train your people.
No way. Tell us more about that, please. Is there more details you can share with that? Because it sounds pretty cool.
Well, they're gonna be at NRA with us. It's pretty new. It just rolled out, I want to say 2 weeks ago. But they'll be at NRA with us. And I mean, it's a really, really good app. A lot of our customers are like super excited about it. And yeah, it's just an AI powered restaurant training platform. So we're really getting in on all that AI.
Now, do you see a lot of restaurants moving into training through these systems in untraditional ways, like, the old train in the restaurant, that they're sending all their staff over to do more stuff online?
A little bit, yes, but I will say a lot of the restaurants I talk to are really still doing things super old school. So it's exciting to be the person that is like, look at all this land, look at all what we could do for you, and it's exciting.
You have like that moment where it's like,
They're like, what? I love cold calling people, and I'm like, yeah, like we could do this, this, and this, and they're like, are you serious? And I'm like,
seriously?
Yeah.
It must be rewarding to do that and just help restaurants out. It must be totally, because these people are hard workers and they're just out there fighting a fight, it feels like. And to be able to help them like that, like, I love it. I love those stories. Monty's got a few of those. Monty's still.
Yeah. You know what? I've got to say something about Julianne that's awesome is when I listened to her talk, she was on our show, my podcast this past week. And we talked quite a bit at an event that we were both at last Monday. And she is so customer centric. And I know that that's a big part of the culture of Restaurant 365. And one of the reasons why I'm, proud to be associated with them to, a lesser degree, where they're just really focused on servicing the customer. And so they're integrating this stuff so that you don't have to spend a ton of money with 7 different companies building your tech stack. It's a one-stop shop. They can do a number of things together. And the customer service has always been great. And I feel like that's definitely much to Julianne's success is she's always very people-centric and customer-focused.
It's funny you say that, Monty. I could feel that as well. So, Julianne, you give good vibes and customer service. But I think it's also the point of a lot of people say it, right? And they don't show it. And I'm sure, Julianne, you could probably have a list 1 million times you've helped people out and gone over and above. And I think that's important, right? It's people throwing around the word value, or they're throwing around service or this and that. But actually walking the talk, I think, is important in today, especially our industry. So, Julianne, I want to first of all thank you. And I know, Monty, you tried so hard, dude. I'd give you an A for trying so hard with your internet. But Julianne, you guys are going to be at the NRA all weekend, right by my booth.
Absolutely are. We have a gigantic booth. It's my first time at NRA ever, so I am.
Was it mine? So I'm like,
it's yours too?
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Really, Monty? I thought you were like you're pro.
No, I've never been.
So why not? Let's throw you on the mic.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Monty, I finally got a pair of sneakers like you. I would like you to know you got sneakers before I did.
Wow.
So I feel very
Jay,
I got sneakers too.
Jay, I'll be wearing these at NRA. They are Restaurant 365 Air Jordans. They are unbelievably beautiful.
What?
Yep.
Yes.
Red and black.
Might have to do a tradesy with my trucker hats. Brian's been there. It's his 3rd time. Well, thank you, Brian. Right. So it's awesome. I'm excited to see everything there. Anything that you're excited about going to Chicago? Like, Julianne, do you get to go to Chicago a lot? I'm sure you do.
Actually, I went to Chicago once when I first started, but it wasn't. It was kind of like a suburb of Chicago, so I felt a little cheated about that. But I'm excited to actually get into the city now for NRA. Cool. It's going to be super cool. We have a gigantic booth. There's a lot of us going. It's going to be like a Restaurant 365 takeover, so I'm excited for that too.
I'm excited. I'm actually going to, besides spending time with you, Jay, which I'm really looking forward to doing podcasts, I'm also going to spend some time at Restaurant 365's their booth as well, and then I'm also going to check out Chef Duffy's. He's going to do a P&L analysis. People can bring their P&Ls up to him, and he's going to troubleshoot on the spot.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he does menu reads too, which is like, like I totally can feel this guy like totally come up there. You hand them the menu and he does the blessing of the menu and does menu read. I can't wait. I'm so excited about this. It's going to be great. Julianne, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's not the ideal time there in Florida, but I just want to thank you for joining us tonight on a late night show. I'm looking at your guys' booth. I don't think you guys could have got a bigger booth. So
We actually have 2 as well. So
I know exactly. That's awesome. I
Hey,
love
if
it.
you guys are, since Brian's on here, if you get a chance, he's speaking at 10 a.m. on Saturday.
At 10 a.m. on Saturday?
Yeah.
I will be in podcast mode on Saturday at that time, but Monty, please make sure. And Brian, I'm sorry, I'd love to see it, but let's make sure that we meet up and hang out and come on our show. We'd love to. We've got some spots open still. We haven't been booking anyone. I've been getting people sending me stuff, but I am so much fun. It's going to be so much fun there, and just I can't wait. So, Julianne, thank you again. 365. People can go and check out your website at restaurant365.com. Or just Google it. I don't know why we have to sound like a radio station. We're not a radio station. Just Google it. It's amazing. And I love your website, by the way. It's got some cool tools and resources on there for restaurants. So thank you so much, Julianne. Rock star. We'll enjoy ourselves in 4 days from now.
I can't believe it.
Fast. I know, hey? It's so exciting. So thank you so much. Monty.
I'm here.
We're going to get you some internet, buddy.
I'm here, man.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Thanks so much. See you, Julianne. Brian, we'll see you in a few days as well. And Monty, we'll see you in a few days as well.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. And check out Late Night Show. Here we go.
Just got my name. Just got my